deadbeat is just like the rest of them, Skip. He'll just fall in line, and Jerry will carry about his business. Care about no Pittsburgh. Man, they need to stop this. They think everybody that comes from Pittsburgh is tough.
You
know,
we should have talked to James.
You know, everybody from Pittsburgh is tough. It's like, man, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the Bronx. Okay. Y'all get fired on too. Man, stop this with this.
What is
he's tough. Skip, Jerry's going to do what Jerry, the boss. That's what Jerry signs the check. He's made it abundantly clear. If I'm paying for everything, you don't think I'm going to have a say? He said that with Jim. He said, I didn't, I hate to say this, but I had final say with Jim. I had final say with Bill Parcells. He's going to do that, Skip. There's going to be a situation. Zeke can run for 272 yards. The media is going to talk to Jerry outside of the locker room before they ever get a chance to talk to Zeke. That's just the way it is. Jerry's okay. As a matter of fact, Jerry's not just okay with that. Jerry would have it no other way. It's easy. Mike McCarthy has never had a situation where Ted Thompson or Mark Murphy second-guessed him publicly. Not maybe behind closed doors, but the public never heard of it. That's what he's going to have to deal with. And his other bosses were fans. Well, they second-guessed him all the time, especially after he kept losing in the playoffs, Skip.
Yep.
But Jerry's a different animal. Everybody says they can handle that. You know, Skip, when I post my photos about my breakfast, people ask, well, Shannon, how do you eat the same thing? Because when you do it for 20 years, it becomes easy. Mike McCarthy never had a boss that second-guessed him publicly. So how do you handle that, Skip? When after a game, we should have went for it on fourth down. I don't like that call on offense. I thought we should have run Zeke more instead of threw more. How is that going to sit with him? He go exactly right. He going to sit right there and just take it. He ain't no handling it. You just deal with it. It ain't no, Jerry, can you stop? What are you going to come out public and say, well, I wish Jerry wouldn't do that. I wish Jerry wouldn't second-guess me. I'm doing the best I can. Team's doing the best I can. Is he going to say something like that? Is he going to tell Jerry to his face, Jerry, I wish you wouldn't do that. I wish you wouldn't second-guess me publicly. No, he's going to bite his lip like the rest of them and go ahead and put his head down and continue to work. So he's not going to handle anything.
Has Jerry ever hired a coach who has won a Super Bowl?
No.
No. Interesting.
Interesting.
Mike McCarthy's got a big ego. He does not have a personality to match.
Right.
He's got a little personality. So in press conference settings like the one we're about to witness...
Is it happening today or tomorrow?
I don't know when. I haven't heard of
I haven't heard
time
that.
and
They're probably going to do it from
place
Jerry's house.
I don't
Well,
think
maybe
so.
they're still living together.
I don't know.
Stayed over.
I'm going to get to
stayed
that
for
in
a
just
while.
a minute. But at that press conference, I promise you, Jerry will do most of the talking, and Mike will be just fine with that. And I also promise you that this Mike has talked to Mike Nolan, longtime defensive coordinator, friend of his, who hired him when he was the head coach in San Francisco, and let Mike be his offensive coordinator.
Correct.
They've had several conversations. We can handle Jerry. We'll just ignore Jerry.
Right.
Well, speaking of tough guys, I'm going to tell you this about Jerry. I know him very well. I have seen this man lose his temper. Not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
Jerry's a tough guy. I don't care what you say. When you plunge out there into the oil and gas fields and you lose your shirt and then you gain your fortune, you have to have some level of toughness. He was a starting offensive guard for a national championship team at Arkansas. I have seen him get mad, and you wouldn't want to mess with him. He's actually bigger than you think. So if push came to shove and Jerry got in a fight with somebody, again, depending on what the guy's age was, my money might be on Jerry because he's the guy you'd have to...
Well, the guy better be 80 because Jerry's 77.
Well, what I'm saying, he's the one of those guys you'd have to kill to whip because he's got that kind of crazy toughness to him. So let's not underestimate his toughness. So you can't push him either.
Right,
okay?
of course.
Okay.
Skip, you can't tell your boss what he can and can't say.
Yeah.
He's the boss.
Okay, so this is why this whole idea of he stayed at Jerry's house is being overestimated.
Okay.
Because once upon a time, you remember Terry Donahue.
I do.
20 years was the head coach at UCLA and then went on to become the GM of the San Francisco 49ers during the T.O. saga. He was the one who said, I've seen enough of T.O. I'm going to ship him out of here. The point was that in 1998, Jerry Jones attempted to hire Terry Donahue to coach the sort of the end of Troy Aikman's career in Dallas because he had been Troy's coach at UCLA.
Correct.
And I know for a fact, because Terry told me this story, that he was invited to spend the weekend at Jerry's house. And it's the same house in Highland Park that now Mike McCarthy has
Weekends
stayed
at Bernie's, you know.
It's one of those, okay? And he stayed through the weekend, and it was all fun and games until Jerry slid that little piece of paper across the table that had at that point, $500,000 on it, which was kind of lowballing for a head coach.
Right.
And Terry said, do you mind if I make a phone call? And he went back to his bedroom. This is a story he told me. And he called his lawyer/agent named Marvin Dimoff, who happens to be yours, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So he called Marvin, and Marvin said, don't sign it. Don't do it. We need to have another negotiating session. And Jerry got sideways with Marvin, and this thing blew apart. And the quote, this is out of the LA Times story of that day. Apparently, Donahue was bothered by a number of aspects of how Jones has structured the Cowboys, taking such a hands-on approach to running the club. Duh. You know, like, okay, it was already operating in 1998.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay?
So not only you got a hands-on approach, you lowballing me. At least if you gonna have a hands-on approach, give me top dollar, because I got to deal with your bull jive. And I got to coach the team, deal with your bull jive. I need top dollar for that.
I would be shocked if he paid Mike McCarthy top dollar, top NFL dollar, because he just doesn't believe in paying the coach a lot, because what's Jerry's mantra? I coach the coach.
Right.
That's what Al Davis taught him in 1989, his first year.
And he looks at it, it should be a privilege for you to coach my football team.
Yeah.
It should be a privilege for you to play my football team.
You know what? After, ended so badly with Aaron Rodgers, I believe that Mike McCarthy does see it as a golden opportunity to show Green Bay how you screwed up and fired me.
Right.
Right?
Dude, boy, can you imagine? We normally get this, Skip, when players, you know, with Manning, Brady, but can you imagine if the Cowboys and the Packers met in next year's playoff? You already know the story, Skip.
Just got chills.
You already know the story. This would be like Gruden and the Raiders. You remember that Super Bowl, Skip, Tampa, when he was in Tampa?
Yeah.
All over again.
You like that?
And that'll be our game, too. Oh, Aaron Rodgers gonna do it, man. Aaron Rodgers do it, man.
I'm afraid Aaron Rodgers might do him in. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is like voodoo at Jerry. He's got some.
But don't worry about it. First of all, that'll be years down the road because y'all not making the playoff next year.
Well, I think you just stumbled into that and said, what if? And I think you were thinking they might.
I was thinking 2021, 2022.
Year.
Yeah, okay. I ain't say next year.
What did you say their record would be? 9-7?
I'll be nice.
Yesterday.
Because Skip is really hard. I mean, it's early in the year. So, I mean, the new year just started. I don't want Skip to take it too hard. 9-7.
I'm unfortunately feeling a real solid 8-8 next year.
Real solid.
Yeah,
No
because
more
this is a
Jason
solid coach.
You go 8-8, you might get your wish that what you got for Jason Garrett. You might get fired. You go 8-8.
I think I just got Jason McCarthy, right?
Safe choice right now. So back-to-back days, guys. We've got some breaking news. And now with the Giants head coaching vacancy. Harrison with us now. James, who stays, who goes in New England?
The business of it says that Belichick stays because I can get more time out of him than I can get out of Brady. If you're lucky, you got another year or two. If the sky falls 3, Bill can give you another 10, 15 years of coaching, and you see, you know, what he's done. And if you even go down his tree of coaches that he has produced, 3 of the coaches that beat him this year was from his tree. So if they can get past the personal relationship that Kraft and Brady has and look at the business sense of it, it dictates that you have to go with Belichick.
Mr. Kraft is playing a dangerous game because it clouded Jerry Jones' judgment with Jason Garrett. You know Jason Garrett should have been fired years ago.
Years ago.
Even if you give him the benefit of the doubt and said you believe he should have been gone,